welcome to the home of the Palace of the Ooni of Ife, the oldest palace in the world.
This is the land where all of us, all of you, migrated from, your forefathers. And the king normally says that the difference between us, talking of those who are here with us in Africa, and you, is the fact that when those people were taking our people away, our fathers missed the boat. Your fathers didn't miss the boat. That was just the difference. So otherwise, quite a number of us too, we have been in America and the Caribbean. So anytime we see you home, we easily get emotional, and we are so happy that you are back to your root. And anything that we will do to ensure that you remain your root, either physically or spiritually, we will not hesitate to do so. And that's what the king will be coming to do for you guys. So once again, I welcome you. So you can join me as we saying that this building is the official residence of the king.
Official residence.
The official residence of the king. Of course, the compound, has a lot of buildings. Right. And here at this palace, we have close to about 1,000, residing and working here. All right. And this building was built in 1937. And so this is the third king that will be using this particular residence. The palace itself has functioned for thousands of years. But the modern day of our land here, this was built in this place was built in 19. So I'll be showing you shortly the king that built this edifice. The king you are coming to see, I'm sure you must have seen the picture. And his name is Ooni of Ife Ogunwusi.
Say the first.
He's the 51st Ooni of the third dynasty. So, and I'll be explaining to you the three, how we came about the three dynasties. The land is so blessed. The land is so blessed with mineral resources, precious stones, gold, diamond. Yes. We have it in abundance here. Yes. And here in Ife, we have a Chinese community. Chinese nationals, they trade in mineral resources. So that's how you have them here. We have about not less than 400 of them within that community. You also have Indian community, because all of those guys in Asia trade in this raw materials. The second Ooni of the third dynasty, he succeeded the Oduduwa. We'll also be talking about him when we get to the corridor where we need to talk about him now. But there is something very significant that you must know about this guy. And it's by his age. He lived and reigned for a little bit above 2,000 years.
You said he lived for 2,000 years?
Yes. No. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I deliberately, yes. No, leave him. I'm not disappointed.
Are you saying he was the second king of Yoruba?
Pardon?
Are you saying he's the second? This guy right here.
The second what?
The second king.
He succeeded. Yes, of course. Second of the third dynasty.
Okay.
I'll be telling you fully. Okay. Now, why I was looking at you. I was expecting you to frown at that age, at the age that I mentioned, because you may want to wonder how scientifically proven can it be. There's something that you cannot prove scientifically, then you don't believe in it, right? All right. But you also believe that Methuselah lived for 950 years, right?
That who?
Do you know about Methuselah in the Bible? Have you read?
Yes.
How old was he? 950, 960 years.
Methuselah, he lived at 900.
No.
Methuselah was the oldest.
Methuselah was
900.
No. the first world that was created by God Almighty, okay, happened here in Ife.
Oh, please don't get deep like that.
So that era was called Ife Odai. That word Ife Odai is a Yoruba word, meaning that Ife, this town is known as Ife, all right? Ife of the earliest creation. That's the meaning of Ife Odai. Ife of the earliest creation.
So that means this is the beginning city.
Yes, that's what it means. The Ife of the people that God first created.
Yes.
God here is known as Olodumare. Olodumare simply means the Lord of Mystery. Okay? So God terminated that war with flood. Now, after the end of the flood, only those who survived the flood, alongside a man here known as Lua, started the second world, known as Ife-Oyi Lagbo. Ife-Oyi simply means Ife. Don't forget that the first Ife was Ife of the first creation, right? So the second Ife is known as Ife.
Once they came on land.
The second Ife, as you can read the second Ife is now called Ife of the survivors of the flood. This Ife came into existence after the flood that wiped off the surface of the earth during the time of Ife Odai, during the first era, Ife of the first creation.
When Noah built his ark.
Okay, the survivors of this mysterious incident were the ones who formed Ife-Oyi Lagbo. That is the second era of mankind. Now, but this second Ife was also abrupted when his inhabitants conspired to challenge God. As you may also find it in the Bible, that at a point,
Destroy the language.
they wanted to. I think they were constructing
They want to build a Babel.
to get to God, and God.
Oh, and that's how
And
he
God
got,
scattered their
different
languages.
and different people.
That was when
Struck 'em
we
down.
began.
Yeah.
That was when we began to speak in different languages, and it happened here. It happened here, and so challenge Olodumare at Okeleri. We will take you guys there, where it happened, which Olodumare resisted by sculpturing their plans, and he changed their language. Likewise, all their means of communication to various forms. You know, racial differences now began to happen. This was what started the first migration of people from this community to various parts of the world. Now, and that particular exercise of migration gave back to this. And what did it represent, or what does it still represent? What they did here was a policy. They came up with an expansionist policy because there was a need. The place was already overpopulated, and there was a need to spread to wherever the territory may end. Okay, and that policy, they now began to second people how to form various settlements. You and you go and stay somewhere, set up a kingdom there, and the leader will become a king. And that's why in Africa and over the world, you now begin to see so many kings. Before constitutional government came, far before the advent of constitutional government, the world used to be ruled by the kings and emperors, right? Okay, so that era was given the name Ife Akanlubebe. The meaning of this is, the first was Ife of the first creation, right? The second was Ife of the survivors of the flood. Now this one now became Ife that creates other kingdoms. That's the meaning of Akanlubebe. The emergence of the different versions of languages that sprouted towards the end of the second Ife batted Ife Akanlubebe. Those who speak the mother language gathered and formed this facet of Ife. The kingship and monarchical system started here with the emergence of Olodumare. That's the god. Olodumare is known here as God. God is known here as Olodumare, as the first person to be crowned as king. So this era now formally kick-started royalty.
So what we're talking about here is not removed from scientific stories. It is only that we know here that the whole world started from the same source. So only that the Israel man would talk about that story in the way he understands it right now and the way his people will understand it. So the man from Israel is talking about Methuselah, Abraham, Moses, Jacob. The world obviously started from a source till it spread up to wherever we are right now. So those people couldn't have had those names we hear today. They're putting those names in the modern language the way we will understand it. So we're talking about the same expression of life till we all became 7 billion.
So, like your ancestors, like your grandfather, is this something that's been followed down within your family? The belief, I mean, the story.
Okay, whether we inherited the story, or
I mean, did you learn it from reading the Bible, or is
what
this
I'm
something?
saying,
Is this something that your grandfather studied
We're
too?
able to make inferences to say this first chapter was like from Jesus to Noah, Noah to Jesus, and that how are we able to tell these stories? Is it something that came up after we read the Bible, or is it that we have learned these stories over time and now we're able to relate the things we see in the Bible later?
No, I got it. That's why I said we inherited the history. It is something that we have learned, over time, transferred from generation to generation. Okay, it's natural, it's organic.
Well, coming to that is that we might be exposed to a form of writing which evolved out of here, which is written in twos, almost like binary. Now, that kind of writing would almost be presented to the modern world like it is spiritual. But outside spirituality, it is a kind of communication. So it is totally and absolutely wrong to say Africans were not writing.
We're not writing.
That there was no kind of writing before Europeans came. The kind of there was writing, there were stories. So which means whatever story we're hearing is not just oral tradition that
But
someone
why would
keeps.
they say that you weren't writing when they were kings
No,
before they came?
Yeah, okay, now that I should talk about. The Western world is talking about the Western history. So there wasn't Western writing.
So they didn't write.
But there was
They
alternative
wrote what
writing,
they-
which is not Western.
Okay. I get it.
So, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we have had, like I said, we have had 51 kings on this tour. Okay, and it was pioneered by a man called Oduduwa. Oduduwa is a great man, and we believe he still lives.
He's the first one?
He's the first king, and he's the progenitor of black race. He is the progenitor. You know what the progenitor means? He's the founder of the race of the black people. Okay? And he was the first king ever ordained by God, crowned by God.
So he multiplied for sure. I know
And
he wise to do
this
that.
is the artistic representation of his crown. Okay, it is called Ari
Can I touch
crown.
it?
Yeah, why not? This is just I said artistic. This is not the you can't touch it in the street.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't.
I don't want
Anybody
nothing bad
that
to
comes near it will die.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
so that's nowhere near. That's just
But you can't die, yeah? You can even kiss.
But sometimes when we say this, let me also learn and say that just like some of the old prophets in the Bible, where you say you cannot touch their robes, if you touch it, you die. So it's not
Sort of.
nothing strange.
Sort of. So, from him, so far we have had 51. And from Oduduwa, the father of everybody.
You had black queens too?
No, they are black.
Oh.
The word, you see, let me tell you, the word started with black people.
Right.
Even where you see white dominance.
Let me let my team celebrate quickly. we have had a woman.
I was going to
So it is not forbidden.
forbidden.
They may say that in
Are you-
Europe,
are
that
you-
no, women cannot. Her name is Lou.
Picture.
What were you, John?
I took a picture
So
of my
there's
I'm
a
taking the
woman.
picture.
I put it on my
Fantastic.
phone.
King here.
You look alike.
I
So
know that's it. That's
you
I did. I took a picture. I took a picture.
I like Lou. I like her. She looked powerful. You go, girl. She wasn't letting them. She was
She's got a
the.
special story. Very powerful.
She was the boss. That's what I'm
Very
talking
powerful
about.
person.
This is the man that broke the jinx of the king not leaving this territory.
So he didn't live here.
He lived. What I mean, though, not moving out of his kingdom. Before him, no, sorry, not him, not this one. No, not there. This one. Now,
What year was this had to be?
1903. That happened in 1903. You see this man? You see this man? You need to know about this man.
Okay.
Now, like I said, all these kings you have seen, okay, they were not coming out of the palace. You could not see them physically.
Oh, nobody
Yeah,
never.
even when the foreigners first came,
So nobody never seen him.
no, I'm talking about this one.
I thought they.
I'm talking
I
about
thought
this
they.
one.
Okay.
Let me tell you, all of these kings before him, they were not coming out to see anybody. You could not see them physically. When you come here, you talk to them through an intermediary.
Sorry, just like we're not going
Like
to
the
see
Wiz,
tonight
huh?
until tomorrow.
Not that. No, so there was an intermediary between you and the king, whoever you are, and you'll be talking. The guy will be delivering your message to him. Like, okay, what's name? What's name?
Pam. Oh,
Miriam.
Pam.
Pam. Okay. Now you come. I said, Pam, you are welcome. So, good evening. I'm here to see the king. Then I turn to the king. Hey, king, your daughter, Pam, is here. She likes to see you. And the king will tell me something to tell you. Okay, tell her. I'm very busy right now. And I will talk to her in about 2 hours. I said, Pam, your father is very busy right now. But he will talk to you in about 2 hours. Okay, so he is the intermediary between the two of you, and that's the way they lived before this man.
Oh.
Yes, this is 1903.
Yeah, I was gonna say this.
Now,
You are not supposed to
what?
So how long are they kings
So
for?
no,
Oh, really?
let's get to how that happened. You know, in 1903, there were two kingdoms in Nigeria fighting. They were fighting for supremacy in Lagos, and so nobody could settle it for them. So the government, the white, went to them and said, okay, how do we settle? Do we allow you guys to kill yourselves? Who can we go to? What authority? Tell us the authority that you respect, so that we can go invite him to intervene. So they mentioned the Oni, the king here, that the king here is the father of everybody, and whatever he says, they will all abide. You know, they are fighting for supremacy.
So
I
they went
senior,
to- they
I'm
went
your
to
senior, you are my senior. That was what they were fighting for. So in 1903, the government came here, the colonial government, and wanted to see him. Of course, they've been hearing about him, wanted to see him. And of course, they were told the normal story that he could not see them. Whatever message you have, pass on. Now the white insisted they must see him. You know why? They said if he's a good father must not allow his children to die.
That's right.
So if there is a spiritual reason, whatever, that will forbid him to see the people, for the sake of his people that want to begin to kill themselves, he should break that taboo. And of course now, no good father will hear that, and we will not expect him to want to make an adjustment. So they say, okay, for the sake of my people.
Why he didn't think of that?
You said?
Why didn't he think like both his people are fighting? So
No,
why would
because the culture is that you do not see the
You
king.
do not see him. He's not just a king.
He's a god.
He's a deity.
He's the
not seeing.
401st Orisha. So the way the Yoruba system of governance works is that he's extremely revered and he stays in the palace.
But even though there's fighting amongst his
Well,
people,
this is why the colonialists, that was the logic of the argument that they sought to make a change, which is, this is what happens with culture. But all these people, you don't see them.
so he just so
No,
all
do
these
you hear their voice?
So saying the king started from
You don't
this
hear their voice. There is always someone
physically
who
seeing the king
speaks for the
started from him.
Oh.
He
And-
went
yeah.
to Lagos, settled the rift, came back, and since then, all the Onis have been,
a bit more
allowing people to see them and to see them. This is a chamber where he receives visitors. Okay, then we can have some not too big programs or events here.
Beautiful.
We have indoor events, and we also have a banquet
Beautiful.
where we want to entertain his guests. So maybe you'll be entertained here by the king tomorrow. Okay. You wine with the king, you eat with the king tomorrow. You also dance with the king. Have you ever met a king before?
No, I never.
So you are meeting. You are not just meeting him. You are a daughter. You are a princess here. You are a princess. You are a princess.
Right.
Tell the white over there that you are a princess.
Right.
All right.
All right.
A black man is a prince. A black woman is a princess.
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
You are a prince, right?
I'm very well. So they know it outside. Are you? Yeah, thank you. He's right about that.
You know, the white people copied, they took royalty from us. We trained them to be royal. They didn't train us.
We know.
And they didn't meet us as slaves.
No.
They invaded us, overpowered us, and took us as slaves. We were never slaves.
Right.
Your forefathers were never slaves. They came and made them slaves. But today, they have seen the reality that truly we are royal. They tried to, destroy our royalty, but they couldn't. They couldn't. And that's why they are now admitting that they too migrated from here. But because that's it.